So, hi everyone. I am pleased to have the opportunity to interview Martijn van der Eden, CEO of Netco. So, Martijn, would you mind introducing yourself and tell us a bit more about your organization?
My name is Martijn van der Ende, or Martin in English. I'm CEO of Netco Technology. We're located in Haarlem in the Netherlands, about 20 minutes from Amsterdam. We've been in business for 27 years. And we're into network security. We're into firewall management, building, designing, and maintaining complex network infrastructures. So we do a lot of fiber, DSL, data center, and we're a technical company. Not that big, between 10 and 15 people, mostly engineers. So we have a really high level of nerds.
So, and how long have you been a customer of Sugar?
That's a good question. Well, that's also, it's a bit a strange answer. We started using Sugar in 2007. So how long ago is that? About 16 years ago? Mm-hmm. So that was about Sugar version 3 or 4, I guess. We were in need of a system to centralize actually all our customer data. And we had some on our intranet, we had some in our bookkeeping system, we had some on several laptops, and we needed a centralized place. CRMs were just about getting there and starting. We were on a homemade system, and we were using ACT 2.0 at that time. So we were in need of centralizing everything, and we started using Sugar in 2007, 2008 for a tiny bit, and we started using accounts and contacts, more like a Rolodex instead of using all the power that's within Sugar. We didn't realize that it had so many functionality, but we started as a plain and simple Rolodex, Sugar accounts and contacts, phone numbers, email addresses.
That's very interesting. And now how are you using Sugar now compared to 10 years ago?
Oh, well, a lot has changed in that time. We went on for a couple of years using Sugar as a Rolodex, but somewhere in 2018, 17, we ran into the company was growing, and the problems were getting also incrementally bigger as well. And then we started to feeling the real pain about having all your data and customer data throughout the company in 6 different systems. So by the time we said, okay, we're gonna change this. We have SugarCRM, and SugarCRM is our truth. It's the whole truth, and it's everything. So if it's not in Sugar, it doesn't exist. So that was a kind of a mindset we all had to adjust to. And then we started filling SugarCRM with all the other systems that had snippets of data. And we decided to integrate Sugar in our new bookkeeping system. We said we're gonna hook Sugar to DocuSign. We made our own integration, not the standard integration we could get from the marketplace, but we wrote our own. We decided to use Sugar for inventory management, project management, time sheet management, cash flow management, making quotes, making invoices. So we said, okay, if Sugar can do all this, let's use it and kick out a ton of different applications and go to one application, and it's Sugar. So we run Sugar on site. We host it ourselves, and we have everything integrated in Sugar, with Sugar, working together.
So in one of our discussions, you were mentioning the fact that before, when you didn't have a centralized data, your team had to take up to 3 days to build a quote. Now how do you do this now with
Don't remind me. It was terrible. The flow was as follows. So there was a sales opportunity, and someone from the sales team would go up to someone at the administration internally and say, we need a quote. Administration would find out the stuff we would need, about the stuff we would need to purchase, and would make a quote. Sales would go with the quote to the customer. Customer would say yes or no, or change this. We had to go back to administration, ask for the changed quote, go back to the customer. Customer would have to print, sign, scan, email the quote back. So it could take days. Mostly, on average, it would take about 2 weeks for a quote to get signed, and it would take us about 2, 3, 4 days for a quote to be sent. So it was a tedious process. And once we said, okay, that's not what we want to do anymore, we started using the product catalog in Sugar. We started using the opportunities module in Sugar, and we started using the quotes module. And we did some tuning of the software so it would fit our flow, our business flow. But because of the open system Sugar is, it was really easy to change everything we wanted, integrated it with DocuSign. So now we can make a quote in, let's say, 1 minute, 2 minutes, send it out, and it gets signed and sent back, and it will be automatically recognized by Sugar that DocuSign as a signed contract. It will be uploaded in the Sugar system. A project will be created, an inventory check will take place, invoice lines will be created, a project and a time planning will be created by Sugar. Everything is automated.
And so when, for example, so you're handling many contracts. So when a contract expires, how does this work for you?
So we have 2 different contracts modules. We have a services module, and a services module for us is like, let's say a customer has a optical fiber connection, and it runs for 36 months. Then this module would automatically generate an invoice line every month, saying, okay, this is the new invoice for the coming month. But it will also automatically take into account renewal terms, or when a customer cancellation terms, etc. And we have a module that does reporting for, let's say, paper contracts. That means that there's, let's say, support on a system, and support will run out on the 21st of April. Now we've built in that depending on the type of support it is, it will notify us in 30 days in advance, 60 days in advance, or 90 days in advance. So we will contact the customer and say, okay, your renewal is up in 30 days or in 60 days. Do you want a quote? Can we help you with something else? And it's all automated.
Okay, and these alerts, are they done via the tool BPM? Is it done via the business process?
Yes. So we use the business process module extensively. So we use it for alerting when contracts expire, but we also use it for checking quotes. If the discount is not there's not a too high of a discount on a quote. We use it for projects, for invoicing. We use it for timesheet management. We rely very heavily on the BPM.
Oh, that's a great insight you just gave us. It's great to see how you're using BPM and how you're using opportunities. And before we wrap up this interview, I have one last question, which is that how is your partnership? Well, I know that you are working closely with one of our local partners, which is SugarCRM, and I just wanted to know more about this partnership.
Yes. Well, we ran into SugarCRM on one of the SugarCons when they were still in San Francisco as a live conference. But we ran into them as of course being Dutch. We ended up talking, and we do our licensing through SugarCRM, and a couple of times a year we'll just have a short chat about, what's in the new Sugar release, And if we run into issues that we cannot solve, we'll ask SugarCRM, like, what's a best practice to solve this issue? We have some chats and advisories going up and down. So it's a really tight-knit, close relationship. It's very nice to work with the guys.
So thank you so much for taking the time to share your experience with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.